Guys, Black Clover seriously has no chill right now. The mayhem is unending and the hype is insane. Noelle is getting her moment and it is oh so glorious. With the previous chapter, we had the proper commencement of Noelle versus Vanica, wherein the mere sight of Noelle was enough to send chills down Vanica's spine. She'd use her blood magic to bring forth some beastly red minions, but it was all for naught, as Noelle would make swift work of them all in an instant. Noelle's capabilities now far exceeded what they once were during their previous encounter in the Heart Kingdom. But even still, the duration of such a power may not be all that just yet, as Undyne would urge Noelle to finish the fight within a minute's time. A prospect that Noelle would refuse by saying that she'll have this all wrapped up in 30 seconds, like the complete badass that she is. From here, her pursuit was unending. She would not let up for even a single moment and was just gunning for Vanica at this point. With this, we were provided a flashback to when Vanica had just recently received her devilish powers. At the time, she decided to go after the proposed to be strongest of the strong. This person turning out to be Noelle's mother. Their battle was fierce but would be interrupted by the accidental emergence of a juvenile Noel and an infant Noel. And so with Vanica now threatening the lives of her precious children, Ashir would make her stand and strike Vanica vitally. And this past battle was now being recollected by Vanica in the present, which made this whole fight that much more wonderful from her perspective. And again, she would attempt to summon her red beasts, but Noelle was not having it and would tear through this thing before it could even be fully constructed, as she then, finally, pierced the villain. With this latest chapter, we pick up right from there as the blood would begin to pour from Vanica's mouth. But despite the pain, she was absolutely loving this and would compliment Noelle's overwhelming power. With this, she would have her blood pierce and rupture Noelle's water dragon as she'd begin an assault of her own, as she'd have deadly bloodbath blasts rain down after her. However, this pursuit wouldn't last very long, as opposed to fleeing, Noelle was simply rerouting her trajectory as she would turn on a dime and begin again. She would strike Vanica several times over from several different directions, a sensation Vanica could not get enough of. She was having so much fun that in response, she would begin to call out Noelle's name before being kicked right in the chin in the most graceful way ever. Vanica would reel from this and now, unable to immediately recover, would surround herself with jagged tendrils of blood to give her a moment to get herself together. But that was a moment more than Noelle was willing to give, as she would continue to charge straight ahead, perfectly dodging, evading, and attacking simultaneously until finally, she'd done it. Now looming over a powerless and beaten Vanica with her blade to her neck, Noelle would proclaim her own victory. Vanica would for a moment struggle to speak, but would finally relish in the feeling of their battle. She was incredibly satisfied, so much so that she would come to question what exactly such a feeling was. Her conclusion being that it might just be friendship. And much to Noelle's discomfort, Vanica would go on to wonder if this made them rivals, as she'd then begin to ramble about the two competing to see who could get stronger in the future. But before she could finish, Noelle would reject this. She did not give a damn how Vanica felt, as she was putting an end to her life right here, right now. Noelle is really about that action and I appreciate it so much. I mean, if it wasn't for Jack, those goofballs would have left Dante to live another day, so I can seriously appreciate her being a savage in this case. But of course, the fight was not over just yet, as another voice would begin to emerge from Vanica's body. One that would compliment her while also rejecting her failure. This power was immense and would repel Noelle as it began to expand from Vanica's eye and envelop her entire body. It would speak of how Lucifero and the other top devils have yet to notice. But with the souls of the three absurdly powerful female mages present, the preparations for their emergence was all but set in place. From here, we would see the power of the cursed magic once restricted by Charlotte's flowers begin to be pulled elsewhere. And here it was, Megicula, the mother of all curses in the flesh. She would express her regret towards Vanica's termination, considering how long they had been together, but with the deaths of Vanica and Lolopechka, her manifestation would be complete. As to Gaja's horror, Lolopechka would begin to change as well, as this mere transformation would additionally slash him all over by proximity. But yo, what a cool form this is for her to have taken. The design of the swirling curse on her stomach being the center here, with her tears additionally now being made bloody. This is amazing, if not completely horrific. And talk about horrific, Megicula would wonder if by dying together, the humans would be able to avoid loneliness. But before such a thing, she intended to have one last bit of fun with them, as Noel was now feeling the pressure of this entity, now repeating her name, and that was the chapter. Wow, this just took a turn for the worst, but it is not as if we did not expect something like this to happen. At the very least, I will commend Noel for coming this far. I mean, she has now surpassed her late mother, who was during her time revered as one of the greatest magic knights in the Clover Kingdom, if not the world. And it pretty much goes without saying that she has thus far provided us a performance far more impressive than Yuno's, so I am very proud. Megicula's design is insane and I love it. And you know what, everyone here with the exception of the forgettable Rill has been impacted by this devil's curse magic, which makes the emotional stakes just as grand as the worldly ones. Black Clover is really doing the damn thing right now, and I am so happy with it all. If you want to see more Black Clover discussions from us, please let us know and let YouTube know by dropping a like and subscribing to Plot Armor with notifications on. We are also on Twitter and Instagram at PlotArmorYT, where you can of course further interact with us and the entirety of the Plot Army, so don't miss out, because when it comes to bringing you some of the best Black Clover content on the platform, Plot Armor has you covered. As always, I am SliceBotaku. Thank you all so much for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.